Now everyone's mute. Like, what's going on? Like, y'all. Hey y'all. Okay, so my question of the day is, do you know what a triage is? It's what? Do you? Yes, no, maybe so. No. If you don't, it's when something like, so for instance, something really extreme happens, something big that happens where there's a lot of deaths, mass casualties, and many injuries, like let's say like a plane crash or whatever, okay? Whatever you want to name it. First responders have to arrive to the scene and render aid to the designated people. But in order to do this, they have to put them into specific categories to see like how bad their injuries are and who might need medical attention first, depending on how bad they're injured. So let's say there's some broken bones, there's a death, someone broke their neck. Broken bones would be like kind of last to respond to. The broken neck, they probably would respond to first, or death. I don't really know. You could correct me if I'm wrong. But that's the basic idea of it. So if you are not injured that much, you are not going to get responded to first. But at the end of the day, everyone is really hurt and everyone has to be evaluated to see like what happened, because you might not show it, but you might have internal pain or whatever, internal bleeding. So paramedics come, or whoever comes, like the first responders, they put them into groups, triage people. Of course, everyone is hurt. Everyone might be in danger of dying because they all had a hard impact with the plane crash. Even though everyone is in pain, there are people that are suffering more than the other people. People like on the floor screaming for help, you know, like they're all screaming for help because they're traumatized, they don't know what just happened. It's just like, it's too much. They're all yelling, and first responders have to like tune out all the yelling and respond to those who need it first. Like I said, everyone is hurt, everyone is impacted, but not everyone is gonna be responded to automatically. The people that are injured the most and like really close to death are the ones that are going to be responded to. With me saying that, a triage is similar to what is going on in the world right now. Yes, all lives matter, everyone matters, equality matters, we all need to be treated the same. But at the end of the day, if there's someone who is being impacted more than another group, you gotta show some attention to them. Like, feel me? Like, you can't just leave them to die. You over here watching, not afflicted by the pain, and you see them suffering, but you want to say all lives matter. That's just deflecting from the cause that we're trying to like bring out there, you know? All lives do matter. White lives, Asian lives. Yes, all lives matter. But if a race is excluded, there is no equality. How can all lives matter when we struggle in our skin to reach the same type of respect and morality that the folks that aren't black receive? And that's facts. We all breathe the same way. You know, feel me? Like we all like, you know, inhale, exhale, feel me, like oxygen. We all do that, but why are we treated differently? You have to come to the realization we are not targeted, charged, and confronted the same way. We all have the same skin. However, our skin should not change the fact of how we are treated and should not be a weapon. Like, we get different treatment. And if you don't believe in white privilege, know it exists. Like, you ain't gotta admit it, but it exists. It's real, okay? For instance, and I'm gonna try to compare it to something else, because as humans, we like to see stuff in our own shoes. So back to the triage. Like I said, all injuries, all deaths matter, right? But if there's a young person with a broken foot, there's an old person with a broken foot. The older person might be suffering more, but they're gonna respond to the younger person because, well, think about it. Like, the old head is still gonna get treatment, just not automatically, because, you know, that little one is privileged because she is young. They have the same injuries, but she is younger, so she is privileged enough to get responded to first. If there weren't any laws said about the nation being divided in every social aspect, there would still be far more acts of racism. And it's funny how it takes laws for this to be done, not the actual mindset of the people. Why do we have to tell you in a written script that you need to act a certain way, you can't do certain stuff? That don't make sense to me. I don't think that one needs an explanation, so let's keep it rolling. So as of now, Black lives are being affected. That is why we have been trying to make everyone more aware of the situation. Black Lives Matter is not a trend.
Just because it is more apparent online right now does not make it a trend. We spoke on this countless of times, and we were never fully heard.
Okay, it's a movement that has been going on for many years. It is only being recognized because we are tired. George Floyd was the last thing. Like, that was just the cherry on top of that's what ticked the bomb off, okay? And because there was such a big reaction, and because we are in a pandemic and we're trapped in our own homes, not distracted from really anything, we all see it. Black Lives Matter has always been a thing. We've always tried to bring it out there, whether it was through poems, songs, whether it was certain shirts, doing certain things. Like, trust me, we did a lot, and this is just our breaking point, so understand that.
For quite a while, we've been peacefully protesting, and it never caught your attention. But once the looting begins, once the rioting begins, once the fires, the peaceful protests escalate, that is when everyone is drawn over to the issue. That is when all the organizations start speaking out. That is when all the celebrities start to see it. And that is when most of the people who are against us start to join us.
But of course, there will be people like you who don't fully understand. And I can't fully blame you either, because if you never experienced it yourself or had your own peers attacked for their skin color, you won't feel the hurt we feel. Our skin is enough to be reasonable suspicion. If you fail to recognize everything that's going on after seeing everything, and I'm not talking about what's displayed on the news, because the news only shows what they want to show. You got to see it on all platforms. Things is going wrong. If you can't see that, and if you can still run with all lives matter, you are the problem. Black Lives Matter does not mean, oh, slavery because slavery. Just because people are talking about reparation does not mean that stands for everyone. I don't care about no reparation. I would like the same respect that everyone is getting. That's all I want. That is all I want. I want my family members to be safe in this world. That is all I want. This is not just about slavery. And just because it ended doesn't mean we aren't still experiencing it. Because of slavery, we are still experiencing everything from it. I feel like the main thing you could do to help is build your knowledge. If you know the laws, and if you are able to share the laws with people, the laws that every individual should know for themselves, you should use it. And educate other people. I know at a time like this and seeing ignorant comments, all you want to do is call someone stupid.
Yo, you're stupid. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that. I'm not even gonna reply to your comment.
Don't do that. Educate people. And by educating people, you don't have to go straight to attacking somebody. Make sure that you understand their perspective. You understand why they might be feeling that way and thinking that way. But correct them and show them not the proper way to think, but why they should be thinking this way and why we are thinking this way. This strategy works a lot. I've been commenting, going back and forth with some people, and they would be like, yo,
I understand now. Thank you. Thank you for being respectful.
All that, like, it's all about patience, like, because people really don't know, and people really don't understand, because they can't place themselves in their shoes. It just seems unrealistic to them. They just seem like it's all gassed up, like it's all exaggerated. It's not. It's real. This is real life. But people don't know that because they never experienced it. So build your knowledge and spread the knowledge. If you're in school, do not be afraid to speak up. Do not be afraid to debate with your teacher. But if you're gonna speak up, if you're gonna debate, you gotta know your stuff. So that goes back to build your knowledge. Feel me? On top of that, the biggest thing is voting. And I'm not talking voting in September for the big election with Donald Trump and whoever else. No, I'm talking primary election. I'm talking like the stuff that's going on in your county, in your town. Vote for all of those stuff. You need to vote for whoever runs the police departments. You need to vote for mayor. You need to vote. Y'all all get mad when you see people passing these laws that you don't like, but you're not helping the cause. So go vote. Like, what are you doing? Like, register to vote and go out and vote. On top of that, another thing I could say is use your talent to spread the story, to spread your pain, to educate people, and to spread awareness.
If you could sing, you better make a song about what's going on. If you could draw a picture.
We learn in multiple ways, not just by listening, but by seeing.
So if you could paint a picture. If you're an influencer, like a YouTube influencer, make a video on it.
Yes, using your platform is beneficial. Keep doing it. Keep signing those petitions, keep fundraising, donating, keep doing all of that. Do not stop speaking about it just because it happened for a week and people were speaking about it for a week and now everyone's mute. Like, what's going on? Like, y'all forget what happened? Like, y'all forget what's happening as we speak? Like, there are so many lives taken that we don't even know about. But because there's recordings on them, yes, there's many things you could do to help the stuff that is happening right now. But I'm talking future stuff. What can you do to help prevent this from happening?
As minorities, we have to work ourselves up into positions where we will be the ones making new policies, being part of the decision-making process on most of the stuff. We have to set new bills, new laws, new all of that. I know that leadership is not a skill of everyone. That is just not everyone's a leader. And I'm not saying that's meant for everyone, but if you know you could do it, you better take charge. On top of that, racism is the biggest issue here right now. That can be solved, not entirely, but partially with the new generations to come. So inform your kids and educate them on what's going on. Don't hide it from them. Let them know what's going on and refrain them from making it continue. because racism is kind of taught.
Black on black, my skin is so black, I'm rocking that black on black is black. Be no juice at your funeral in the all black suit.
20 racks inside the lamb truck, a nigga sliding, dog. I just put 20 racks on his head, he had to double it. All of that talking, they never calling us.
I
I used to